old show. This is the big O show. This is the big O show. This is the big O show. This
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 16 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive the new 2024 RDX, $419 a month during our 16th anniversary sale.
For over 16 years, EJDConstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDConstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Miles an hour, that's a Category 4 hurricane. 3 deaths are reported in Florida after more than 24 were killed in the Caribbean. This
Take a journey to our Caribbean paradise at Toyota of Hollywood. Get in the groove with great deals on over 2,000 Toyotas, like a Corolla, not 24,000, just 17,975. You'll be cruising and chilling with super low 2.99% financing. Feel the rhythms of the Caribbean today at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
Great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Furones, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house!
Get out of the house! Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding. Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, InterMiamiCF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 16 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive the new 2024 MDX, $469 a month during our 16th anniversary sale.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Welcome aboard. It's Friday. You finally made it. It's here. We're fresh from Dolphin practice. We will get a day off tomorrow because we'll see some of you on the hell is this? We'll see some of you on Sunday over at the facility. I get a Band-Aid on my phone. That's kind of weird. Anyway, so we'll see you guys, some of you guys, on Sunday over at Dolphins Training Camp. And remember, pads come on Monday. Okay, so just in case, if you go on Sunday and you want to, you're expecting pads, I just want you to know there'll be no pads on Sunday. The pads will come on Monday. So for those of you that have tickets for Monday's practice, you will get the first practice in pads. Tua today went all out. So I don't know if a hold-in holds much weight or water if you're just going to take a day off and then the next day you're just going to go fully practice. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's hard for him. And by the way, he threw darts today. Darts. Like, he was just all over the place. He burned Ramsey with Tyreek Hill like on a 70-yard bomb. He threaded one to Craycraft that was excellent. It's like 25, 30 yards. I mean, dude, that was just a nasty freaking throw. He made a couple really, really nice throws today, man. It was like, wow. That was fun to watch today. Watching Tua, make a couple of really, really nice throws today, man. There was some that you were like, wow, okay. And the bomb, man, just to open it up there with Tyreek, that was good. That was good. It was early on in the practice, first couple plays there, and he hit that bomb. That was really, really nice. So, whatever. When it happens, it happens. I'm not going to really lose a lot of sleep over this, and I don't think Dolphin fans should either, because in the end, okay, he's under contract. As I keep telling you, he's going to play. He has to play. He has no choice, and he has to really excel, because your fallback plan is, well, if I don't end up getting the contract I want, well, then I got to go back to the drawing board. I can't just sit out. I got to come back, kick ass, and then force them to pay me even more because they can tag me for 2 more years. So, and that way, whether you shut it down during the season or not or whatever, or maybe halfway through the season, he's tearing ass and you give him a new deal. Who knows? Whether it happens tomorrow or it happens 2 weeks from now or it happens 2 months from now or it happens next offseason. It'll happen. I'm not worried about it. Tua will be starting, will be playing, and then everything else will fall into place, man. I'm not really that concerned about any of this because I don't think it has any chance of getting to the point where it's an ugly situation. Let's put it that way. So I kind of get it. And we'll see. We'll see how it ends shaping up overall. Finns worked out Shaquille Quarterman, linebacker. No big deal there, but see if they give him a spot to show his wares in training camp. Mostert didn't practice today also. Chubb too, I think, was out, obviously, because and Phillips and Long and the same people that have been dealing on OBJ and all that kind of stuff. And the OBJ thing is another topic that right now it's kind of OBJ and Tua and names like this are going to trigger views and clicks and all that kind of stuff. And because we're all enamored with the whole Tyreek, Waddle, OBJ trio, the OBJ topic, and so now people are like shocked that he's dealing with an injury. And at this point, this is when you put him on the pup. You can't do it after he practices. So what you do is you do it now, and he's not really needed right now running routes in July. It's really not that important. You know what I'm saying? So we get a couple weeks into training camp and we're into the preseason. That's when you're going to need OBJ. Okay, when you're practicing against those other teams, not even for the games, for the inter practices. That's when you're going to need OBJ. That's when you want him for chemistry purposes, all those kind of things. That's what's really important. Again, this is late July. This is not the time to be concerned about Odell Beckham. You know what I mean? It's kind of like there was a conversation amongst the media today, and they were talking about, one of the media members was talking about, well, if Calais could play 600 snaps. And I'm like, yeah, that should not be the case. You know what I'm saying? In a perfect world, you don't want him playing 600 snaps. You want to keep him a little fresher so he's more effective for you. Could he play 600-700 snaps and carry a heavy load? Yeah, he could. But is he going to be the best that he can be at this age? No, he's not. So it's it's one of those things that I think people got to kind of define what you're watching and what you really need from that player. And Odell Beckham is not a guy that's going to run a ton of routes. So you're not going to run him into the ground. You shouldn't run Calais Campbell into the ground. They do a marvelous job as a team to try to keep their players as fresh as possible by giving them rest. Listen, a lot of people don't realize Bill Walsh had a lot of success. He was the innovator in that sense of no pads on during the season and keeping their team's legs fresh. And it worked out for his team. As long as they did the mental reps through it all and they didn't have to go through the hitting of it, but they went through it without pads and all that kind of stuff, he kept them still focused on what they had to do and the concepts and everything, but he took away the load of carrying the extra padding, the sweat. As you know, Sean, you've played football. The pads weigh. And then when you add sweat, they weigh even more, bro. Okay. And so then it's kind of take away all that stuff and take away the hitting and the extra wear and tear and all those kind of things. And because if you're a good football player it should translate. And it's like what Teron Armstead does. He doesn't do a lot of the wear and tear stuff during the week so he can perform during the week. You know what I'm saying? So I think sometimes we're looking at this and not defining it the right way. Don't be so concerned about Odell Beckham. He's not there to carry the load like Tyreek and Waddle. He's there to be a complementary player to those guys. He's there to spell them once in a while. He's not there to replace them. And he cannot carry a heavy load. Just like the example of Calais Campbell. Could he physically handle a heavy load? Yeah. Do you put him more at risk at injury? Hell yeah. Is he going to be as effective as he is with maybe 30% less of the load? No, not even close. He's going to be way more effective when you take away 30% of the 600-700 snaps that you planned. You know, and so that's where we have to kind of look at it. So don't panic. Maybe that's kind of the theme. You know, let's not panic about certain things. It's way early. I get it. Certain people in the media have to kind of sell drama and sensationalism and all that kind of stuff. But it's not really a big deal. Whatever the Dolphins pay to, I'm good with that. I want Chris Greer, McKenzie, and Marvin Allen here for many years with our current roster. I agree. John Santos is right. Cosa Nostra is first in. Give us a little dirty laundry. Kick them when they're up. Kick them when they're down. Kick them when they're up. Kick them all around. NorCal says, pack it up, pack it up. That's right. There it is. He is in. The Finlaws are in. Jamie Zoria, Oscar Rojas, J-Town. If you're into crypto, check out the live Bitcoin conference, but mute it at 2 p.m. and come back to the Ostradamus show. Thank you, J-Town. Appreciate it. And we had some interesting developments today too in Bitcoin. The Michigan retirement system has bought 6.6 million in Bitcoin through their ARC ETF. So Michigan, Wisconsin, and yesterday Jersey City added Bitcoin to their reserves. It's going to happen. Banks are going to do it. Cities are going to do it. States are going to do it. Countries are already doing it. A couple more are coming. Okay. And you think there's something going on with the banking industry? Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway today dumped 2.3 billion shares of Bank of America. Even old ass Warren Buffett, who has gone against Bitcoin as much as possible because his world has been about banks, he's even finally seeing the light and figuring it out. So amazing that the old fart has figured it out. That's crazy, huh? Fireman is in the house. Thank you, sir, for tuning in. As always, Gus 1388, Robert T, True Fin Fan, One-Eyed Jack, Sam the Man, Joe 305, Jeff in Long Island, Ray Sosa, Yader Castro. Thank you for the great content, not just football, but just overall great listening. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. We are here to provide an entire show, not just one sport. So hopefully we give you more than one sport and more than one topic to talk about. Think Blue Dodgers, Luis Medina in the house, Ocala Joe. Says a great day to kick back next to a tropical drink and listen to sports and crypto voice of the airwaves. Thank you, my friend. That is very nice. Medina says he's 4 pounds away from a total of 100 pounds lost. Wow. That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. Yeah, you know what? Give Luis Medina a victory cigar, Sean Stanley, because a man that is losing 100 pounds deserves a Churchill-like victory cigar. Congrats to you, Luis. Well-deserved, my brother. You're a freaking stud. Frankie Fresco, you are correct. I blame Tua, too, for practicing. Yep. Thank you, Michael. Aaron Hernandez. Thank you. Devin Jordan, thank you for the love on the super chat. Big O, did you see Chris Kaufman's article about how the new salary cap increases affects the Tua contract negotiations? I did not see it. What did it say? Did you read that article? I don't know. Kaufman does a good job. I don't know what he wrote. Not exactly sure. I don't know if it's the new CBA or it's the Chris BA saying, yeah, no, we're not going that far. This is our number and this is what we're doing. Not sure. I'm not sure because I've watched them take a hardline stance on all kinds of people. And so it is odd for the quarterback. I got to tell you. Odd, but they're taking a hardline stance with everybody. Favorite Genesis album, Abacab? Definitely, Abacab. Although, let me tell you something. This is completely a different question, but one of the better live albums of all time is Three Sides Live from Genesis. But if I'm going with my favorite Genesis album, come on, man, I'm going Abacab. See the lonely man there on the corner. What he's waiting for, I don't know. But he waits every day now. He's just waiting for something to show. Oh, and nobody knows him. And nobody cares. Because there's no hiding place. There's no hiding place for you and me. All right. Let's see. Steven Gonzalez, Frankie Fresco says, what about OBJ learning the playbook? We criticized Claypool for running the wrong route. Wouldn't OBJ? Well, let's wait till he runs the wrong routes. Let's wait till somebody makes a mistake. But you can't have him running the right routes on one leg. You know, so he's not vacationing. He's clearly dealing with some kind of injury. So we got to give him a chance to get healthy. You know, let's wait for actually people to screw up before we criticize him there, Frankie. You know, and let's not play the hypothetical game of all of that, you know. And OBJ is not coming in with big money and all that kind of stuff. He came in with a decent contract, and he's here to be a complimentary guy. Relax. Take it easy, bro. Take it easy. Dolphin Dan is in the house. I'm not going to learn how to do the crypt walk dance, so I'm ready when Tua gets the money, okay? Seems like Tua's playing it smart, showing the difference in practice when he practices versus when he doesn't, says Skyler. Could be the case. B-Rob in, Brett Dodger, Ray Sosa, Raging in the house. Gordon says, is the difference between how the offense looks when Tua's running it and a big difference in the – well, 2 years ago when Teddy and Skyler played in the 5 games that he missed, Hill and Waddle didn't catch a touchdown. And there's a huge difference when Tua plays and anybody else plays, dude. Huge difference. The dumbest and most ignorant thing in the world is for anybody to think that you'll just get rid of Tua and the next guy's going to do the same thing because it's the system. That's just stupid. You think Norv Turner doesn't have a good system? No, he just didn't have a great quarterback when he was here. Chan Gailey's a damn good coach, but he didn't have a great quarterback when he was here. We've had some guys that can coach offense here. It's just, give them the quarterback. This guy can coach offense. He knows it. He knows how to play design, and he's got a guy that can throw. A guy that was elite in high school, elite in college, and he's going to be elite here. He already has been because he's been in the I don't know. There's not a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL in the MVP talk 2 years in a row. I'm guessing Mahomes, Tua, maybe Lamar, and maybe Hurts. I don't know. Was Hurts in that conversation last year? He kind of had an up and down year, right? So maybe not. There's only like a couple of. Yeah, but not last year. So, like, how many guys were in the MVP conversation 2 years in a row next to Tua? It's the dumbest thing in the world. Andy Reid had other quarterbacks. How come he didn't win Super Bowls? Oh, that's right. He has Mahomes now. Oh, okay. But he went 4 times to an NFC championship game with McNabb, right? And then the one time they went to the Super Bowl, McNabb threw up on himself. Okay. All right, no, I'm just checking. Because, it's the system. It's just kind of some of the dumb shit that is said out there, Let's see. How much of the Tua's contract dispute is about Greer not being bullied by Tua's agent? I think that's most of it. I think the agency is bullying this whole thing because of the whole love thing and whatever. And so now they're kind of using it against the Dolphins, and the Dolphins are like, no, bro, we're not playing that Jaguar, what's it called? That Jaguar game where they're desperate and they have to sign people and all that kind of stuff and overpay. And anywhere and some of these other places, they got to overpay. No, we're going to give you a fair contract. Duke is my favorite Genesis album. Great album. If what's the one with Mama and Home by the Sea and all that, the one with the gold blocks, somebody tells me that that's their favorite album, I don't have a problem with that too, man. That's a freaking great Genesis album too. Forgot the name of that one album. Somebody will help me out there. Marcus says, can I get a Bitcoin with the likeness of Elizabeth Warren on it? If so, I'll take 13 for a dozen. Nice shirt, by the way. I didn't know you could sing. LOL. Yeah. Now you know I can't sing. Can't rush to judgment on OBJ when he hasn't even played yet. I know. We got Frankie Fresco wanting to rip into the dude already. Big O, do you play fantasy football? Man, I used to be such a big fantasy football player and fantasy shows and breakdowns and all that stuff. And I've kind of pretty much run out of gas with that. I'll have one team and I'll do it half-ass, So it's just, I played it for so long, dude. I started playing fantasy football where you had to wait for the newspaper on Monday morning to really tally all the stats because there was no internet for that. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just one of those deals that it's just, I started a long time ago, played it for a long time and kind of ran out of gas already, So you could say that I barely play it now. I just don't want to hear, hey, OBJ ran the wrong route later down the road. Well, that's, shit. Frankie, by the way, Waddle will run the wrong route and so will Hill. They're all going to make mistakes. You're talking about a mistake. There's a difference between when you're a mistake and you're a habitual violator. Okay, Frankie, last time I checked, we're all human beings, bro. All of us. I know I'm not perfect. I know I screw up all the time, dude. All the time. So, I mean, somebody's going to run the wrong route. Tua's going to throw the wrong route, by the way. He's going to throw to a spot that he wasn't supposed to. It's going to happen. It's the what you're supposed to say is you're really more looking at if it's a habitual problem, because then that's laziness. Then that shows that consistently you're unprepared. But a mistake, we all don't want to make them, but come on, we're all prone to it. Why? We're imperfect beings. It's what we are, you know? You can't go wrong with Invisible Touch, another terrific album. Mama might be my favorite song. Yeah. And I remember when I saw Genesis for the Invisible Touch tour, and they opened up with Mama. And so the whole stadium was dark. And then it starts the music with the keyboard, and then all of a sudden you hear ha ha ha. You know that if you know Mama, right? And so you would hear ha ha ha, and then all of a sudden a flashlight would come on, and Phil had it right under his chin, and then he'd go ha ha ha, and then he'd go and he'd put up an evil face, and it'd show up on the big screen, and everybody would go crazy. So now that you mentioned Mama, that's how they opened up the Invisible Touch tour at the Orange Bowl and at the Sombrero, because I saw it the next night. I drove up to Sombrero in Tampa, which is no longer there, the great Sombrero. I saw the Stones and Van Halen in the Sombrero years ago when I was in high school, right? Ninth grade, I think, right? I think it was, right? Ninth grade it was, I think. Anyway, so yeah, I remember that. Yeah, Mama's a great song, man. Great song. Fantastic. Let's see. Music Matt 1001 is in the house. Thank you, sir. I tried fantasy football once, and it was enough for me. I'm good. I'd rather just watch my Dolphins play, and if there's a great game on primetime, I'll watch that, but no fantasy for me. No, I mean, listen, you know, it's an extra way of having fun with it, with the sport. That's all. Land of Confusion, yes, was on Invisible Touch. Yes, sir. Yes, and I Can't Dance and all that kind of stuff, yeah. As long as we give equal blame, I agree with people making mistakes. Now, if a receiver is constantly running the wrong routes and does nothing to correct it, then you have Robbie Anderson and Claypool. See, Ray, I like Ray Sosa. Ray's got it. Ray gets it. Hey, he knows what we're talking about. Ray gets it. Who else saw Monsters of Rock in Tampa? Well, I saw Monsters of Rock, but in Miami in the Orange Bowl. I saw that. Remember, you can make a donation, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo, as always. And we appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hateful Steve, thank you for the love on Venmo. I appreciate it. Ocala Joe, thank you, sir. Appreciate you on Cash App. Thanks for the valuable advice. Thank you, thank you. Modelos on me. I look forward to that. A little Modelo. That is strong, my friend. Thank you. Very, very nice. Little Modelo action. Love me some Modelo. Let's see. What else do we have in the world of sports? What else? They will practice. They will be off tomorrow, by the way, the Dolphins. Sunday, they will practice at the facility. First time it's open to the public. Remember, you got to have your ticket to get in. It's not like a paid ticket, but it's one of those tickets from the team. So if you don't have it, don't go down there, okay? Because you won't be able to get in. So make sure you have a ticket to get in if you want to see them on Sunday. And again, if you want to see practice with pads, Monday will be the first practice for the Dolphins in pads. Okay? So that's why I don't get crazy. Ogba has played well the first couple of days. He's been like a man possessed. You know what I'm saying? So it's been pretty cool to watch, you know, overall. I don't really judge offensive linemen because it's hard, man. Without pads, it's you can't really see. Okay, the part that sometimes I think even in the media they don't understand what's actually going on. Some media members, I think some do. Like I'm sitting back there with guys like John Conjemi, and I know he gets it, and Travis. I'm sitting there with Travis. I know he gets it, and stuff like that. Some guys I know that they can figure out what's really going on, and you got to understand the life of an offensive lineman. This is with pads now, okay? With pads. When you're running the football, they are more into it because they are delivering the blows. Now, you deliver the blows and you're kind of like a boxer, right? You got your gloves, so you're protecting your fists. You got your padding, you got your shoulder pads, your helmet, you're driving, so you get to like hit them in there and punch them and all that kind of stuff. Now, and when you're pass protecting, what are you doing constantly? You're on your heels, you're taking hits, and it wears offensive linemen down actually. In heavy pass pro sets, it is taxing on offensive linemen because it's just them teeing off and teeing off and teeing off and teeing off. And then when you're running the ball, you're exploding off the line. So if you take the pads off of the offensive lineman, psychologically, it just takes away from your thought of receiving the hits. You're almost like more protecting yourself from injury, and you're not going to go all out to deliver hits because there's nothing that's protecting you because you're not completely padded anymore. Because since it's half practice, you don't have all the get-ups and all the tapings and the gloves and everything and the casts and everything that people do. That shit doesn't exist at that moment. So it takes away, you feel it, right? You know what I'm talking about, right? You've played the game. You played inside the trenches too, right? You played linebacker? Where'd you play? That's right. You were a light ass. That's right.
I was 140 pounds in high school.
That's right. You told me a story. You were a light ass.
I didn't gain weight until I got in the military and started
running
and working out more.
You got to the military and you were stream bean, right?
Yeah, it was 145.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So okay. But you played the game and you understand the concept.
Played the halfback position, which I got in the way of people. The block, not really, but yeah. Okay. We went through the drills
But when you went through the drills without the pads, you
see that
the way you were trying to get away.
But again, we're talking about in the 90s where we were doing 2-a-days with pads.
Right.
We never really had the, I mean, again, we weren't NFL type, but we still were doing 2-a-days with pads in the morning and pads in the evening, and it wasn't so.
Once you put the armor on, then
it's different.
An attitude.
It's a different psychology.
Yes.
You're a different head in the game and everything else.
And so the writers or reporters or TV people or podcasters or YouTubers, any of those people that go crazy about linemen without pads, don't know if you really understand the game completely. Don't think you really understand. And the people that are more at a disadvantage in those kind of practices are the offensive linemen. They're not fully protected. They can't fully unleash, and they don't know what's coming. They are at such a disadvantage. It's like watching one-on-ones, receiver and corners. Those things are fun, but remember, in real life, there's another corner next to you. There's a safety behind. There's a safety above and below. There's linebackers underneath. It's different. You're not just as open as you thought you were when you did the one-on-one. So you know what I'm saying? And if you're playing a zone concept in your defense and they beat a guy one-on-one, well, wait a minute, we're in a zone. So once you leave my zone, somebody else is picking you up. There's more to it. There's nuance to it that you got to just kind of, you got to really understand everything that's going on. And so then that's where we have to kind of pump the brakes. And I don't go crazy without pads about what's going on with linemen. That's all. So it's just my philosophy. It's something that I've developed over the years. When I was a youngin' and in my 20s in this business, I did a lot of that silly stuff that I overreacted on mini camps and stuff like that. And you get burned enough with that, and you learn. You live and learn. Getting old has a lot of bad things, but one thing is it does give you a little bit better perspective on all that stuff, going on. Sean, we getting Roman Reigns at SummerSlam, says Josh Hart.
I sure hope so. Hopefully we will get to acknowledge Roman Reigns at SummerSlam.
Let's hope so. Let's hope we get Romanized. I don't know why, but why do we need to get Romanized, by the way? Just out of curiosity.
He needs to reign over the bloodline once again.
Okay. All right.
Needs to lead the Samoan dynasty to where it rightfully belongs, not Solo Sikoa.
I got you now. Okay. All right. Remember, we're out here at Acura Pembroke Pines. By the way, there's a cherry red ZDX right in front of me. And I got to tell you, that's my lead dog. I got a blue one. I got two gray ones there. There's a white one. There's a black. I mean, if you're looking for the ZDX to get electrified, okay, and, you get tax breaks, and there's 3 different ways you can get your charger and all that kind of stuff, 3 different options. By the way, FP&L has a really killer package where you sign up with them, and it's $39 a month. All you want, all you can charge. No extra fee or anything like that. So that's pretty cool right there. They got something like that. State of Florida has and you sign up through FP&L in the state, and then they give you the break and they install it for you and all that kind of stuff. So make sure you look into it if you're doing it. And so come out here and check it out at Acura Pembroke Pines at 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. This thing flies. They have the all-wheel drive and the two-wheel drive, okay? I drove the two-wheel. I didn't drive the four-wheel drive. The all-wheel drive, I would imagine, it's 500 horsepower. 500 freaking horsepower. The two-wheel drive's like 380, I think, 360 something. I got to look it up again, but I think it's like 360 something, 380. Hauls ass, bro. Beautiful. And it's an awesome looking vehicle. It is a gorgeous vehicle. So come on out here and check it out at Acura Pembroke Pines. They're celebrating their 16th anniversary. And of course, by the way, Larry just told me also the MDXs and the Integras 2024 models, they're running out. They've only got a few left. They're trying to make some great deals. We're here at the end of the month. They will make you a great deal. They're the number 1 volume sales dealership. Why do you think they're number 1? Because they don't screw around, dude. They cut deal after deal after deal. That's why Larry Schlossberg and Pat Nasto, Tony Stampone, all the great people out here, they get it done, okay? And by the way, right now, the 2025s are right around the corner. The ZDX, you can get it for $499. So if you're looking for, you're looking to get electrified, come on out here to 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. And if you own or lease an Acura, we got a service center that is just absolutely awesome. And Mike Chen and Jordan Ferber do an awesome job at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. How have the rookie edge players? They shined pretty well yesterday. I saw Chop had some moments yesterday. I thought today was a little up and down. Didn't see much. At least I didn't notice much from Kamara today overall. But again, no pads, dude. I'm not really going crazy on my linemen and pass rushers until I get pads on. Ogba's been a beast. But see, my problem with Ogba is, do I really need to see that? Right? I look at Ogba and I say, he's a damn good player, bro. I don't know what the hell happened with him and the old man. Just like I don't know what happened with him and Holland, and I don't know what happened with him and Jalen Ramsey, and I don't know what happened with him and Decatur Kohus looked much better. He's looking much more comfortable making some plays out there. So the old man, for whatever reason, he did a good job. Considering everything, you were top 10 defense. So we can't say he did a bad job, but he did not maximize his team. They could have been better. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to wait. Like I said, let's get some pads on. You know what I mean? Listen, man, if you want to, read the fanboy, watch the fanboy shows that are going to overreact over things, and they're going to overreact on stuff that you really don't need to overreact on, good or bad. Those shows are out there for you, man. They need the views. They're dying to get them. So now let me tell you how great this player was when it really doesn't mean that much. Or let me tell you how terrible this was, and it really wasn't that bad, that kind of stuff. So if that's what you're looking for, or you're looking for somebody to go trash somebody right now, I'm not doing that without pads. The worst I'll get is the first day, the quarterback, Gavin Hardison, bro. That poor kid threw like 800 interceptions. That was bad. Big O, Brett, Big O has literally talked about this. Even Marino didn't do well in cold weather. Yeah. 40 years, Dolphins have sucked in cold weather. 40 years, they suck going out west. 40 years, they choke in the playoffs. Doesn't matter who it is. Doesn't matter what team it is. Doesn't matter anything. Okay? We haven't done any of this in forever. We don't win on the road. We don't win in the West Coast. We don't win in cold weather. We don't go deep in the playoffs. That's been 40 years. Okay? I'm going to say since Woodstock. Because when you got to the Super Bowl with Marino, right, I'm pretty sure they had a bye week. So they played 2 playoff games and they got to the Super Bowl. When you got to the Super Bowl, you realized you didn't even belong on the same field with the Niners. So your Super Bowl appearance was pathetic. Why? It wasn't Marino's fault. It's just that team was in another class, dude. In a completely other class. They had a better team every which way. And that's it. Better offense, better defense, better running game, better everything. And that's why they won. We had 2 guys that were awesome on the left side of the line. They had an entire offensive line. We had at best a mediocre to serviceable running game. They had an elite running game with Roger Craig, a guy that could catch 1,000 and run for 1,000. It just, they had a tight end that would end up in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, it just goes on and 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 on. It doesn't matter. That's what the Dolphins, what you've watched for the last 3, 4, 5, 10 years is the same thing that's gone on for 40. So it's just a bunch of people. Eddie Beto sent me an email that he was all hot and bothered because he brought up the Poyer comment, and the way I answered it, I assumed that that I was saying like he didn't realize it, but in a way, yeah. Because anybody that brings up the Poyer comments and acts surprised or something, you shouldn't. And if you bring them up, it's because you think that it's something new or something. In fact, what you should be saying is, man, Poyer told the truth because that's what's been going on for the Dolphins for 40 years. I didn't see anybody say that. I just heard people react. Oh, did you see what Poyer said? Oh, but wow. Like it's like shame on you. You know, like we were like 10 years old already. That's what it felt like. I didn't hear one person in the media, except yours truly, of course, or fans come out and say, that's not news. That the Dolphins have always been the team you punch in the mouth and they fold. Marino teams got punched in the mouth and they folded. Fiedler teams got punched in the mouth and they folded. And every other team after that has been punched. The John Beck teams, the Cleo Lemon teams. Okay? They all got punched in the mouth and folded. Every single time. They folded. That's what we've been. We should have a folding chair as our logo. We should have a flip phone as our logo. Yeah, a flip fin. Yeah. There you go. We should have a soccer player as our logo since they're floppers. And you know, maybe we should have our dolphin upside down flopping because that's what we've done for 40 years. We've been a bunch of floppers. So anybody that acts surprised, did you hear what Poyer said? Or like, what are you surprised or something, bro? Like, yeah, that's who they've been. You want to lie to yourself or something? Come on, man. Yeah.
We could do it like the dorsal fin of the killer, you know, when they're in captivity, it just wilts over. It doesn't stand up anymore.
Right.
See those? That's our Dolphins logo.
Exactly. Yeah. It's the silliest thing in the world, the to overreact or anything about the Poyer comments. That's exactly who the Dolphins. That's the definition of the Dolphins, and that's what Mike McDaniel has to erase. By the way, guess. There we go. Ray is in the house. Ray Grullon is in the house. Ray, you're a stud, bro. Thank you, brother.
Music related.
Damn, bro. Holy shit. Wow. Oh, yeah, baby. A Mandalorian pop. What did you... yes, exactly. With the Grogu? Grogu. What is that? Oh, okay. All right, there you go. Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels. And then, bro, what the hell is this? Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Okay. Oh, Beatles. That is awesome. Thank you, brother. That is too much. That is awesome, bro. That is fantastic. Abbey Road. Dude, you're beautiful, bro. Dude, you're too much, bro. Thank you for everything. Thank you for the loyalty, bro. You're amazing. I try to keep you sane. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I think it's mostly it's agent driven, and then the team saying, "F you guys, we're not going crazy," and then throw everything out of balance, and then we can't build a team around. You know, okay, you're talking. You know, here's where. Oh my God. Here's where. No. You're good. It's just now I'm giving the two haters a little material for themselves here. Here we go. Ready? Okay, when you have a quarterback like a Josh Allen, you will sacrifice some things because he runs. He'll do other things and he'll sacrifice his body for it, but at the same time, he brings another level of offense for you. So then you'll do things and you won't have to dress things up as much. You know, with Montana, you got to give him a running back and a fullback. By the way, nobody really mentions that he had also a badass like Hall of Fame fullback. Just so did Troy Aikman and all that. Forget just the running back, by the way. They had fullbacks that could pass catch. But let's leave that all, because Troy Aikman wasn't going to run anywhere. Neither is Montana. Neither is Greasy. Neither is Marino. Neither is Peyton. Neither is Tom Brady. And neither is Tua. So when you have those kind of guys, you need to build and give him all the options. What did Shula do? Okay, we can't run the ball, but fuck, we're going to get you guys that you can throw the ball to at least. Kirby, Byers, Tony Nathan. At least the backs you knew were going to catch the ball out of the backfield, correct? And obviously he was going to have his receivers, and he would get him a tight end. And if it wasn't an A1 tight end, you would have a Bruce Johnson, a Bruce Hardy, and a Joe Rose combination. You know what I'm talking about? You got to be an old Dolphin fan to like understand what I'm talking about, and then talk about what I'm mixing in. So then the story, or the way the front office has to look at it, is say, we have this kind of quarterback. We have to build this kind of offense. Okay. And so we need this kind of money. We don't want to play the Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen role of, okay, well, let's put the weight of the world on the guy, and he has to run and throw and run and take a punishment and all that. And so we'll spend less every. Go look at Josh Allen's weapons. Compare it to us. So then you're giving Josh Allen all that money, but you can't give him all that weapons. So that's where Chris Greer has to sit there and tell the agent and tell Tua and say, yo, mother effers, look at that quarterback and all that. And they have to do more, and they have less. You have more than they do. So we got to meet. Exactly. You got to help me so I can keep this around you, because your skill set doesn't call for me to do all of that. So your skill set is the same as Peyton Manning's. It's the same as Tom Brady's. You're a statue, basically. Okay? You can move around a little bit. Like I say that about Greasy, and really early Greasy could move around a little bit, actually. But Greasy was a scrambler, wasn't a runner. Right, with glasses. Yeah, that's when he became Peabody. I called him Peabody in those days. So, that's where this whole thing, and that's where I tried. Now the Tua haters are like, well, you see, said he can't carry the team or whatever. Yeah, exactly. Well, how many championships do Lamar and Josh Allen have? That's your answer. Yeah. Yeah. But Montana was great because, bro, he had a line that was second to none. He had a running back that's Hall of Fame worthy. He had a fullback that was Hall of Fame worthy. He had a tight end that's Hall of Fame. He had a receiver that was Hall of Fame. The second one was super fantastic. He wasn't a Hall of Famer, but Taylor was a hell of a player, dude. So you're talking about a sick offense around the guy. Troy Aikman. Oh, he had Emmett and Rathman sitting there. And then he had a Pro Bowl tight end, Pro Bowl receivers, stacked, and one of the greatest offensive lines in the history of mankind. Why? Because Troy Aikman's not going to win the game for you by breaking tackles and running downfield and all. So you got to understand what you have. Okay, so we have this kind of quarterback. We need to build around him. Bro, they went and got Jalen Wright this year to add a third running back, and then they went and found Jonnu Smith. Hasta cuando, as we say in Spanish. You know what I'm saying? So this is where the rubber meets the road, and this is where the team has to say, well, bro, you're under contract, and this is as far as we can go. If we start going there, then we got to start cutting back. If we got to give you this, then we can't sign Javon Holland. Yeah, right. And so, but they're using the Jordan Love bullshit, and they're using it on them because they know they're loosening up the purse strings over there. Well, no, they're going to give us 56 average, 210 guaranteed. Well, where are you guys? You're only in the 165 mark or 180 or whatever. And so they're not going to play that game, and they're not going to be leveraged. And so I at least that's, again, I may be reading it wrong, but I kind of get that that's where we got the Trevor Lawrence, and now this has gotten it completely out of whack. and they were in a neighborhood before and they were working around that neighborhood, signing everybody else. And then they, because they want to build a team and they want to keep flexibility so they can continue to move pieces in and out. You know what I'm saying? Cam Smith made a couple plays today. You're hoping that in a year, a year or two, he's replacing Kendall Fuller. You know what I'm saying? So these are the things that you have to invest in and then, move forward with. You're hoping that Kamara and Chop develop so that way Calais is only here for a year. It just there's more to it, man. And I think people have to kind of be very patient with this. But thank you, bro. You're the best. Appreciate you, Ray. Thank you. Yes, sir. And that's right. You got the hat. Thank you. Sporting the hat. I appreciate it. Sporting the Big O Show hat. Thank you. It's very kind. Very kind. I was looking to see if Stampone is still there because we were talking Beatles. Because when Tony Stampone is here, and Larry Schlossberg, who's right behind me, he's the man here. He's the GM. To the left is a guitar, and obviously he has his own rock band and all that. So he's big in music, and he and I talk music all the time. I connect more with Larry in music. Pat Nasto, I connect with him more in sports because some guys, their interests are a little different, and we're all different, bro. Our boats are all floated differently. So I was looking for Tony because before I got on the show, we were having a music conversation, and he was talking about, the Stones being the greatest band of all time. And I told him, I don't have a problem with anybody telling me the Stones or Led Zeppelin or The Who or, trying to think of the Beatles, those kind of bands. If you tell me that's the greatest band, I'm good. I'm not. Why am I going to split hairs here? You know what I'm saying? But he thinks the Stones clearly way above the Beatles. And I'm like, nah, I'm not going there. I'm giving them all credit, man. All of them. The Beach Boys. I'm going to give them. You got to think about this. None of this shit existed before they started it, so it came freshly out of their minds. All the musicians that came after in the 70s and 80s and 90s, they had all the music from the 60s and the early 70s to, like, that's their foundation. You know what I'm saying? And so to me, it's hard to just pinpoint one because from the 60s into the early 70s, there's all kinds of, here comes Black Sabbath starting metal, and the Beach Boys and what is it? The other guy that did the surf music, but Beach Boys and the other guy, Dick something, or I forgot the guy's name, the guitarist. They kind of started that genre. Pink Floyd started that psychedelic genre. ELP and Yes and all these kind of bands that started the progressive rock type of genre. You know what I'm saying? That's why these people are just amazing, because nobody had done that before. All the other people that came after, well, then they're just learning off of the people that established everything. But all those bands from back in those days, man, they were establishing those genres. So for me, it's a crazy ass argument if somebody wants to say the Who's the best. No, Queen is the best. Okay, bro, whatever, bro. What do you want me to? You want me to just tell you that the Beatles suck because Queen is the best? You want me to tell you that Led Zeppelin is the best and Queen is not? And I'm just like, what am I doing here? These are all the Godfathers, all of them in their own way. They all deserve a spot. There's no Mount Rushmore. There's too many of those that started it all in the early days, and they all deserve the love, man. They really do. You could have a favorite, but I just have a hard time saying that one's better than this one, and especially with the Beatles, like they started everything, like rock, pop, like how to write a rock pop tune. Like they pretty much started it, dude, It's impossible. It's impossible. Dick Dale, that's it. Thank you, whoever got it. Oh, you found it? Very good. Wow. Oh, okay. The Shumway man got it. It's hard, man. The only time Marino had trouble throwing was late in his career when he hurt his neck. He would absolutely destroy the Jets up. Yeah. Yeah. But he would lose games too because their team was terrible. Their defense. Oh, how dare you leave out the Plastic Ono band? How dare you, sir? This is Dougie Fresh. Oh, you're using Victoria's account. I gotcha. Hello, Victoria. Luis Hernandez. Tua heard you, Big O. If I'm Tua, bro, I play and I stick it to them. And then I demand more money next year. Big O, you heard Eddie Bento's feelings? I don't know if his feelings are hurt, but he seemed like he was bothered about it. I told him, bro, I'm a ball buster. Relax, take it easy. You know, that's who I am. I bust my own balls all the time when I do stupid things. I'm the first guy to. Am I not the first guy to insult myself when I do stupid things? Constantly. I mean, give me a break. So, you know, and what I said to him is what I would say to anybody. I'm not overreacting on the Poyer stuff. It's like that's nothing new. It's kind of what I knew about my Dolphins forever. Unfortunately, that's what we've been trying to shake. We've been trying to get rid of that for a while. By the way, Welton Rayom is a proud sponsor of our program. We love Welton Rayom. Jeff Welton, Daniel Rayom, 954-966-4646, folks. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there, a lot of Americans dealing with bankruptcy. And you've gone into your credit cards, your 401k, and you're having some issues. Don't be embarrassed. This could happen to me, could happen to you, could happen to any of us, okay? I could easily be calling Jeff Welton, Daniel Rayom next month. All right, so call them 954-966-4646. Times are rough, and I know that that's happening. They've had a few cases already from our program. Homeowner property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury. They do it all, folks. Welton Rayom, they are two bulldogs, okay? They are the left and right tackles that you need when you want to take on these big insurance companies that they love collecting your premium, but boy, when it comes to them paying back, they don't. And Progressive was trying to not live up to their responsibilities with us. Welton Rayom crushed them. And they've done it for a lot of our listeners already. Car accidents, truck accidents, home damage, condo damage, property damage, all kinds of stuff they've called Welton Rayom. So please save it on the cell phone, 954-966-4646. You know how sweet it is? They send their adjusters. They do all the work, and then they call the insurance company for you, and they take on the insurance company. You don't have to worry about it. No headaches for you, man. It's freaking awesome. It's like you have enough shit going on in your life. You don't want to have to take on the insurance company and spend hours on the phone, which is what it's going to end up, hours and hours. You don't want to do that. Let the professionals do it, and let the professionals crush them. 954-966-4646 for Welt and Rayom. Let's see. Stick it to them. What happens if he gets hurt? That happens in every business. And he's under contract. So there's no, if he wants to hold out, then go hold out, and it's $50,000 a day and it's not rescinded. And they're not going to give it to you in cap money to then take the cap space because you wanted to hold out. So, this is the game you got to play. So let me ask you something. All right. What if he gets injured? What if they drafted him injured? How do you like that one, bro? You ever thought about that one? What if they drafted him injured? Oh, shit. They did. Wow. So they took a chance, injured. They took a chance, surgically repaired. And they kept him after the concussions. And not only did they keep him, they brought in a better coach, a better system to help him out. So, who sacrificed more? Chris Greer or Tua Tagovailoa? Scales like this, dude. Scales like this. Chris Greer, Marvin Allen, and Reggie McKenzie have put their reputations on the line, their careers on the line, and then they also drafted the guy injured and surgically repaired. That takes some balls. Maybe the front office is saying to Tua Tagovailoa, an agent, we've sacrificed a lot, and we're here giving you a lot of money. We feel it's great. We're building one hell of a team for you. We got a coach for you. We've sacrificed. Man, the scale is woo, woo, woo. It's not even close. It's not even close. There's a fucking elephant on this, and there's an ant on this one. That's how much the Dolphins have sacrificed. You want to talk about sacrifice? The Dolphins have done all the sacrificing, bro. They fired a coach for him. They hired a coach for him. They drafted him number 5 overall, injured and surgically repaired. I will tell you this. Tua hasn't sacrificed a fraction of what Greer, McKenzie, and Allen have sacrificed. Why should they sacrifice more? They've been sacrificing for 5 years, bro. Yeah. So, and you saw the whole Waddle deal. How'd that end up? Pretty friendly deal overall, right? I'm on their side on this one. I'm a big Tua guy. I'm a Tua believer and all that. I'm a front office guy here on this. I got to be objective. I got to call things like I see it. Just because I know the kid can play, I'm convinced that he's a player. That's fine. But I'm also convinced that front office is awesome and that they're doing what's best for the whole team. It's not about what's best for one player, even if I like the player, even if I think he can play. And when I look at the sacrifice that those 3 men have made, it's not even close. It's not even close, bro. Their entire careers are on the line for this kid. So, I'm on Team Dolphins on this one, not on Tua's agency. Sorry. And by the way, I'm going with track record from, since he took over and is completely in control. I like the way he does things, him and Shore and company, how they handle contracts. I'm on their side on this one for any and every negotiation, pretty much. Yeah. How does it end? He'll get a contract at one point or another, Troy. In a week, in a month, a year from now, he'll get a contract eventually. But you know what? You know what I'm going to say? He's going to play, and that's all that counts. That's all that counts. Frankie says facts. Thank you, sir. Jose Cabrera says all very good points. They even drafted a buddy of his, Waddle. The market is the market. Lenny Pena says facts. Woo! Scale not even close. Woo! Big O, that was funny. I ain't going to lie. Thank you, my man. We try to entertain, too, while we're here. Chris Duquette says, hey, man, I got a Tua jersey, but I need some meaningful wins in my Fin fandom. Hey, Chris, I've got a Tua jersey, and I've got like all kinds of other jerseys from Chris Chambers and David Bowens and Dan Marino and all kinds of stuff. And I haven't had a meaningful win in 40 years, my brother. 40 years. What, last time, what, when they went to the Super Bowl in 84? 40 years. So it's not a Tua thing, dude. It's a Dolphin thing. So if you've been, it's like some people tell me, well, we have the miracle in Miami. Man, if that's your memory, oh, God. Have fun, bro. Knock yourselves out. That's good for you. I'm going to go back to the early 80s and the 70s for my memories. I'm not going to go to silly little games that are part of losing seasons. Like, yeah. Come on, man. Eric EJD says you knocked it out of the park with that perspective. Well, we try to bring some, Eric. We try to bring perspective to the program since we have too many people that don't have the perspective. That's the problem. Big O, read the chat. What did you do, Jamesville? Tua just signed? How about that? Let's see. Like I told you, he get a deal this week, next month, in a year. Eventually he'll get it. 4-year, 212.4. What's the guarantees? Yeah, because none of that shit means anything. Well, hey, by the way, I can already tell you it's a team-friendly deal. Okay, do the math on 4 years and 212. Can you guys do the math? $53 million. If the deal averages 50, he didn't get that guaranteed. He didn't get 4 years guaranteed. So let's say he gets 180, 170 guaranteed.
Well, real quick, because I went through the guaranteed. 185 was Lamar.
I love these people, bro.
185 was Lamar. 200 was Lawrence, and then the Lions quarterback fell just below that 200. So he's going to be right around.
He's going to be below that. He's going to be below that. If it's 212, it's not guaranteed 212. That's the only way he surpasses it. He surpasses it if 100% of his contract's guaranteed. But if only 80 or 70% of it is guaranteed, he doesn't pass it. So either way, is anybody going to complain? Let's say if it's 50, let's say you guarantee all 212 and it's 53 per year, which it's not going to be. But if it averages 50, who cares, dude? Give me a break. What are we splitting hairs here? People were talking about 55 to 60, weren't they? So it doesn't average that already. And he didn't get the 212 guaranteed. I guarantee you that. I bet you I'm going to take a stab that it's between 170 and 185 of guarantees. So there you go. He didn't break the bank like people were scared of. It's just a decent deal. What do you got? It's not 212 now?
At Rap Sheet, that's Ian Rappaport, right? I want to make sure I don't get posed this way.
What do we got now?
Tua time. The Dolphins starting QB gets $167.1 million guaranteed in the largest 4-year deal in history. A massive payday and a long time coming.
It's 3 years for 167. That's what it is. Did I not tell you that? Okay. It's 3 years for 167.
Greer got the deal that he wanted. To be able to get out after the 3.
If they want to.
Yeah. No, again, they want to.
But they have a team-friendly deal that they can work with.
A team-friendly deal that they can work with and get out of if they have to.
It's everything that I've been explaining. They can't go crazy giving him a nutty number because they have to create a team. And they've done a beautiful job. And I've explained to you what kind of quarterback he is, like some of the other ones. And so when you have that, you have to go with this kind of a philosophy. So it's over, bro. It's done. That's it. Greer, by the way, Lewis, Greer always, and Shore, they always have outs on everything. Every deal, they have an out. Every deal, they create flexibility for themselves. We have, I don't know how many times I'm going to say it, we have one of the best front offices in the NFL. And it's not even up for discussion. They prove it all the time, dude. All the time. I'm glad he got his deal. I'm glad the stupid thing is done already, and I don't have to hear about it anymore. I don't have to hear the idiots, oh, maybe they don't want him. Maybe they don't think he's that good. Yeah, no, moron, of course. They've gone through all of this because they don't think he's that good.
Maybe they told him, if you go out there and have a good practice, we'll pay you. And he went out there and he did it, and now, boom.
That's it.
Signed it.
That's it. Hey, Tua, if you can complete 170-yard bomb in practice today, we'll give you 100.
And if you can thread a needle.
Million.
If you can thread the needle on one throw and a 70-yarder.
He did the one to Craycraft.
I know. That's what I was saying.
And threw it right between
Chris Greer was at
guys.
the door as soon as he's walking off the field. Chris Greer's got the contract right there. There you go. Good.
Bro, the Craycraft throw was nasty, bro. Nasty.
Oh, there they are, too. Unfortunately, got the bad.
So there you go. Yeah, the haters are going to start. But again, it's just they got it. And they got a fair deal after all. You know what I mean? And if he ends up playing all 4 years, it's a joke of a deal. If he's kicking ass, it won't matter. Yeah, he'll get an extension after the third year. Yeah, for sure. He wins a Super Bowl in his first 2 years, he gets an extension. They'll extend the 2 years that are left. Put it that way. But for sure, if he's playing well after 3 years, they will extend it. So I'm taking it that Manny Navarro forgot to call. Don't worry about it. It's all right. I guess he forgot. Sorry, because we got yeah. Okay. All right. Just sending Ashley back a text. Because by the way, we are set. I had my meeting today. We are set. We are going to be in Indianapolis. We're going to give you all the information, sports bar, everything. I know Ashley, Sports Babe 305. She is also going to be there. She's going to do some get together and in the morning in the pregame. So we're going to be doing our pregame show there, and then we're going to be doing our postgame show there. So Dolphin fans can come to that bar after the game, after the win, and hang out with us and have a good old time, man. So looking forward to that. That's going to be a lot of fun. Being able to hang out and cover that game and check it out, man, because I think it'll be pretty cool. And it's right next to the stadium too. So that's actually pretty cool. The fact that it's right next to the stadium. So we're going to have some fun with all of that. We'll give you all the information. So we're definitely locked into Indianapolis and we're locked into Buffalo. Okay. I know that NorCal is working for us on Seattle, and we'll tell you. And then if anything else shows up, and by the way, if your business wants to be a part of our platform and you want to be a sponsor during our football season, one of our insiders or something like that, or you want us to do, maybe we could do live shows at your place, 954-472-0622. That's 954-472-0622. If you want to reach out to us there, as always, we appreciate it immensely. And always appreciate your support. Remember, you can always make a donation, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. I know that, and you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation on Cash App or Venmo, by the way. I know that Bitcoin was trying to get to 68. It is still stuck in the 67s right now. It's at 67,663. It went down to about 63.7, 63.9, and then it's popped up and it's gone from there to 67.6 now, and it is climbing. Let me see. Cardano's up 8%. Ethereum's up nearly 5%. Cosmos is up nearly 7%. Solana up nearly 9%, up to $182. Polkadot is up almost 4%. Polkadot's at a really good buy right now, actually, if you haven't gotten into Polkadot. Chainlink, at 1362, I think it's still a pretty damn good deal, man. It's up almost 8%. Jasmy is up 13.5%, dude. It's making its way to 3 cents now. So it's nice. When Bitcoin moves, Jasmy pumps. That's usually what ends up happening. Let's see. Beer Noob says Greered all the Dolphin fans once again. Greered all the Dolphin fans. What's it? That's what that means?
Or he does, and he's saying Greer got the deal he wanted.
I think that's what it is. I think Beer Noob means that normally Greer him and Shore make these team friendly deals, and that they normally don't get fleeced. I think he's saying a Greer, like low hanging fruit. I think this is his way of low hanging fruit. I think Greered all the Dolphin fans once again, or maybe he made them look bad again because they thought, oh, he can't get it done, this, that, and he got it done again. I think that's, I don't know, Beer Noob, you're going to have to tell us. We're trying to, define that text of yours, my man. So you're going to have to help us there on that one. Let's see. The Samoan sniper gets signed, baby. I knew it would happen. Now we can move on and talk football, baby. That's right. I mean, I knew it was going to get done one way or the other. I'm not really worried about it, dude. So maybe they were just trying to, maybe the Dolphins were just trying to massage and get the best deal possible, and it took them a while to bring them up to the point that they were. Who knows, man? Again, we talked about this, right? Greer has been a tough negotiator, and he's proven that it doesn't matter who the hell you are, even the quarterback. He's going to try to make the best deal for the Miami Dolphins. I love this front office, man. I love this front office. Every night you got to try to figure out who is the MVP of the night, right? And, well, I think we have ourselves our Cutter's Edge Pro MVP of the night.
Who's last night's MVP? For your complete landscape solutions anywhere in South Florida, there's only one MVP. CuttersEdgePro.com. Here's our CuttersEdgePro.com MVP of the night.
Our MVP is Chris freaking Greer. Okay? This is a guy that gets it done all the time. Put it this way. He had so much ice in his veins that he went on to build the entire team, made all the moves, got all the money he needed without going into Tyreek's contract. I'm sorry, going into Tyreek's contract and not signing Tua. That's the kind of badass that guy is. That they signed everybody and then got the Tua deal signed. So Tua ends up signing with a complete team. Just lost Shaq Barrett. Probably made an upgrade with Agba. Who knows? You needed another move to help you out in the defensive line. You find Calais Campbell. Just some of the stuff that's gone on lately alone, on top of the icing on the cake, which is signing Tua Tagovailoa to a team-friendly deal. overall, I got to say, props. I mean, you want somebody to, do things the right way around your home and make it look good, make your business look good, take your landscaping to the next level. Cutter's Edge Pro, baby. Definitely. Call my guy, William Quigley. They'll get it done. 954-472-0622. William does an excellent job. Tree trimming, removals, landscape design, outdoor lighting, irrigation, synthetic turf. You're going to love the synthetic turf. And we are in storm season right now. So if you've got a bunch of trees and all kinds of stuff hanging around your wires or roof or whatever, please don't get on ladders and roofs. Call the pros. They're fully insured, and they'll clean all of that up. And by the way, if you do have landscaping, but maintenance is an issue, it's tough to maintain it, call Cutter's Edge Pro. They do a great job with maintenance, too. 954-472-0622. Dade, Broward, or Palm Beach counties. They are the best. Cutter's Edge Pro.
The MVP of the night is brought to you by CuttersEdgePro.com. Servicing HOAs, condominiums, townhomes, commercial properties, corporate parks, and malls throughout South Florida. CuttersEdgePro.com. Providing South Florida MVP performance every day of the year.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's go. Let's rock and roll. Manny found lots of things. Let's get to it. We found Manny also. Let's get to our Caneswear Miami Hurricanes reports.
The viewpoints, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
If you're a Miami sports fan, there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your InterMiamiCF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2655 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or InterMiamiWear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where InterMiami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Time for Canes fans to get what they want. Information, insight, and perspective. It's the Caneswear Miami Hurricanes Report with Manny Navarro. Exclusively on a Big O radio show. Here's Big O and insider Manny Navarro.
There you go. By the way, Beer Noob says being Greered means being made to look like a fool if you deny his contract skills. So apparently now Tua ranks number 4? Number 3 overall. And he's at 53-1, right ahead of Jared Goff, 53. So that all this negotiation was, come on, Chris, we just want $100,000 more than that guy, Jared Goff. Come on. All right, there you go. Here's $100,000, and that's it. So there you go. They got it done. By the way, it looks to me, Manny, I know you different team, but looks like a team-friendly deal. Like they didn't really sign, like people were afraid of some crazy-ass deal or something. Wasn't too crazy overall. I don't know if you saw it.
I'm looking at the numbers now, and I guess I don't know how this puts them up against the cap going forward or how much room they'll have. I know Tyreek Hill's supposed to be done after this next season, right?
Yep.
So they'll have money to spend, right? Still, even with him signed. So it's not debilitating. I think that's the most important thing.
No, not at all. Not at all. You all right, bro?
Hey, man, you know that song I See Red? Right,
yes.
that country. I was seeing red for about the last 45 minutes. My 9-year-old daughter. Oh, I'm sure this has probably happened to you at some point or another. Except my 9-year-old is really good at this. This is the 3rd time she's done this to me at a water park, where I tell her, Olivia, meet me at 2:30. I got to go upstairs. I got to go do the Big O show at 3:00. Make sure you come back. Oh, Dad, I got one more ride. I want to go down one more slide, one more time. I got this friend. I said I'll be back in a few minutes. 2:30 rolls around, 2:45, 3:00, and the panic father in me, because my wife is working upstairs in the room. My 13-year-old daughter's with her aunt doing something else. It's just the two of us in this gigantic water park. And now I got to call my wife at 3:00 and say, guess what? Olivia's missing again. So pretty tense moments. We got security. I ran around the park 3 times myself, couldn't find her. Security and my 13-year-old who came running over to look for her found her. So she's safe, but I am late to the show because of it. So I apologize. Olivia was having a little bit too much fun here in Great Wolf Lodge, Joe.
Yeah. That is, kids, bro. Kids they'll mess with you a little bit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's just kind of it's scary. Scary, bro.
It is scary. It is. I started to panic. 3 o'clock, and I started to panic. I said, "Wait a minute, this is not. She knows at 3 o'clock I had to be on with you, and she says, "Dad, I got caught up. I was having fun." I said, "Well, I told you 2:30, so she'll be grounded. There'll be some consequences out of this. So you got to discipline." But for me, it was not fun the last 45 minutes.
All right, brother. All right, let's get your. I can imagine your heart was here in your throat, but let's get your mind off of it. Camp opens up next week. Mark Fletcher, Akeem Mesidor, the Maui Goas. Obviously, Zion ends up retiring. Talk to us a little bit about where all these players stand.
Yeah, remember, if you go back to spring football, there were about 30 guys, I think, that had surgery. A lot of them shoulder surgery, labrum type stuff, and they were held out. Francisco Mauigoa told me him and his brother both had shoulder surgery, and they're both ready to go for the start of camp. Mark Fletcher was the big one everybody was worried about. He injured his shoulder and his ankle, and Mario told me and a couple of other people who were up here on the beat that he'll be ready to go for the start of camp. Maybe slow played into it, but in terms of not missing the first game, he will not miss the first game, which is good news because that's your depth right behind Damian Martinez. And then Akeem Mesidor is a guy who was really a special player for Miami 2 years ago when they got him for West Virginia. He led the team in tackles for loss, was among the leaders in sacks, and then missed basically all but 2 games last year. And he'll be ready to go. He's got his new shoes. And Mario's expecting him to go, which is all good news because you need depth. If you're going to be a special team that wins the conference or makes the college football playoff, you need depth, and that's quality depth, those guys.
All right, good stuff there. And then, of course, Restrepo. Talk to me a little bit about that because it looks like, I know he's getting a lot of attention, but I'm hoping that somebody could take some pressure off of him, too, from that receiving corps.
Yeah, well, that's why Miami went out and got Sam Brown. And Cam Ward talked about that. Just as far as needing another guy who could really beat man coverage. Restrepo's great at finding holes in the zone and getting open and creating. He was consistent last year. I thought he was a 1,000-yard receiver. Miami hadn't had one of those in a while. He was just super consistent, and Sam Brown gives him a different element. Really fast, can go out and make some great over-the-shoulder grabs. You got Jacoby George back. You got Isaiah Horton, who they're expecting big things from. So this is a deep receiver core. But the one thing I got to say about Xavier is I do this survey, and the ACC survey that'll be coming out next week on Monday to tease something in The Athletic. Every year where I ask the players, who's the guy you respect the most in the league? Who's the best player that's not on your team? And I had about 6 or 7 guys mention Xavier Restrepo. Just as a guy that they admire. They said he's super great character, and these are guys that don't even play with him. So the fact that other guys are picking up off of that and feel that in the game tells you why it is that he's so valuable. And the one thing I got to say is he's one of the holdovers from Manny Diaz, right? We talk about this being Mario's roster.
Right.
He's the one guy, in terms of the best players that Manny Diaz recruited that is a contributor and is still part of this team. So kudos to him, to Xavier, for the way that he's grown as a player and the fact that so many guys mentioned him to me when I asked who's the best player in the league.
He's a tough kid.
Yeah.
That's why people respect that. That he's not as gifted as a bunch of other guys, but then he makes up for it with his cojones, with his toughness, and he's pretty durable also for a small guy. He's kind of a tough guy. So you respect all of that. Nobody will ever say that they don't respect Xavier Restrepo. We can argue and say, well, hey, bro, that he shouldn't be your number 1 wide receiver, but that's not his fault, dude. That's
right.
Whatever. But you got to respect reliability, availability, and toughness and smarts and leadership. And he has all of that, dude.
100%. And I thought it was pretty cool. I just wanted to share that because I do that survey every single year. A lot of people obviously mentioned Cam Ward. And Ruben Bain as well, as far as best players in the conference, as far as Miami guys are concerned. But I thought, it was kind of unique to hear that so many guys feel that way about Xavier Restrepo, don't even play with him.
Yeah, I'm with you there. All right. Also, we got a bunch of former coaches in the ACC. So which one of the former coaches really wants to kick Mario's ass?
Well, it's definitely Manny Diaz, right? At Duke, you would think that he's got that game circled on the calendar. I asked a few of the Duke guys, how bad they need to win that game, go on the road and win in Miami, and they didn't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole. Manny was asked in front of me and some other guys at the end of his breakout session with the reporters just about the game and how weird is it going to be to go back to Miami to face the guy who replaced you. And he said all the right things, as far as being happy where he is at Duke. Didn't really get into his time at Miami, but I will say this: we can start the hype train for that game with Mario, because if he loses to Manny Diaz at home to Duke, a Duke team that, by the way, was shredded in the transfer portal. They lost Riley Leonard, they lost their best pass rusher, RJ Oben, they lost all kinds of guys. Their leading rusher, who was all ACC, went to NC State. They were depleted after Mike Elko left. I think Manny Diaz will do fine at Duke. I do. I don't think he's going to be a bad coach. He's a good defensive coach, and I'm sure he learned something from the first go-around at Miami. But hey, man, there's no way Miami can lose that Duke game, and no. I think it's something that we can certainly look forward to. And it was funny just kind of talking to guys about it the last couple of days.
It's just harder to win there because, bro, the kids really have to hit the books hard in that place.
Yeah.
And that's, not only do you have to find good football players, but you're going to have to find, scholars, people that really want to get an education. That's not really some of these football players. They're just looking to play on Sundays. Even if they have no shot, they still think in their minds that they're going to do it. All right, what do you got going on in the Athletic, my friend, so folks can check you out?
Yeah, a lot of stuff, a lot of coverage from ACC Media Days. If you go and check it out, I wrote a Cam Ward feature yesterday. We're going to have that ACC survey. I wrote something about SMU, Stanford, and Cal, the new teams that have just joined the conference. So there'll be plenty to read there, and I'll do a podcast as soon as I get back. And then camp, it's starting next week already. I think Thursday, Mario told me Wednesday, I think everybody arrives or checks in, and then they can start practicing 2 days later. So it'll be either Thursday or Friday next week when they finally get going. And we'll start having some information coming out of camp as far as who's really healthy and who isn't, right? Because that's the first thing you focus on is, wait a minute, where is that guy? So we'll see. But I'm looking forward to it. We'll finally have some real stuff to talk about.
You got it. All right. Follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro and subscribe to The Athletic. Manny, as always, thank you, my brother. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, bro.
You got it. And don't forget, Caneswear. Go to the website, caneswear.com. You could use our code BIG010. You will get 10% off in person or online. And remember, if you live out of town and you can only buy online Heat, Dolphins, Panthers, Marlins, and Hurricane gear there at Miami Fanwear at Caneswear, remember, over $99, you'll get free shipping. And you can still use our code BIG010 to get 10% off at caneswear.com. Michelle Kaufman is next.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, InterMiamiCF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
All right. Time to talk a little Inter-Miami. And the one and only Michelle Kaufman from the Miami Herald does an excellent job of covering the team on a daily basis. The team that is next in line to win a championship. We had in our power rankings, the Panthers were number 1 and Inter-Miami was number 2. So they're well on their way, Michelle. And now, the beauty is now with this 6-1-1 streak, there's no hurry to bring back Messi. I know for the people that bought tickets, I get it. But in reality, the way they're playing, man, this has been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's actually not 6-1-1. Well, he played in the tie. They're 6-1 without him in the last 7. He played in that 3-3 game against St. Louis.
Oh,
so if you're counting games that he didn't play, they're 6-1 without him.
Okay, 6. Well, either way,
over the last 7 games. Yeah. No, I mean, it's a great record.
Sick. Nobody would believe you. Nobody would believe you.
Everyone thought as soon as June 1st came, this team was going to go off a cliff because Messi's going to be missing, Suarez is going to be missing, Rojas is going to be missing. Everyone just thought, this is going to be, they need to get as many points as they can by June 1st because June is going to be a disaster during Copa America, blah, blah, blah. Turned out completely different. This team found a way to win without Messi, without Suarez. A bunch of other guys have stepped up. Tata's been able to manage all these new players, bringing in a couple new ones even now. David Martinez from River Plate is here now as a center back. He's going to maybe make his debut tomorrow in the Leagues Cup opener against Puebla. And the team is in first place, 53 points ahead of every other, the best record in the entire league of MLS. Even with, if I had told you, I just did this math right here for a story that I'm writing. Lionel Messi has missed 13 of their 25 league games this year. 13 out of 25 games he has not played, so more than half. He has missed 7 games with injury, 5 games during Copa America, and 1 game that he was rested. He and Suarez did not fly to Vancouver for the Vancouver game, road game. So
a short week.
He has missed.
Yeah.
It was a short week, and they had a Vancouver game in the middle, and so they rested. So he has not played in 13 of the 25 games, and they are in first place without Messi and largely without Suarez over the last 7. So it's very, very impressive. And now it's almost a shame that all this momentum that they've built, they now have a 1-month league break for the Leagues Cup, which is just kind of stuck in the middle of everything. Now for 1 month, there's no league games again until the end of August. The good part about that is Messi will have some time to get healthy, because I think it may take him up to a month to get healthy again from his ankle. He's still in a boot. Tata confirmed today that he's still in a walking boot as of today. Yeah. So he's not going to be playing, anytime soon.
There's no need to play. You already won Leagues Cup last year. You got nothing to prove.
Right.
If you win this year, it's a bonus. Great. But don't kill yourself. Keep yourself prepared for the MLS Cup this year. That's what you need to win this year.
Yeah. It's a really different situation. Last year, they came into Leagues Cup. It was Lionel Messi's debut.
Right.
His very first game was the Leagues Cup opener against Cruz Azul. The team was in last place. InterMiami had literally the worst record in all of MLS, and Messi was about to play his first game, and he went in there and had that dramatic stoppage time free kick to win the game. They go on to win 7 straight, lift up their Leagues Cup, the first trophy in their team history. This year, completely different. The team is now in first place. Lionel Messi is not even going to play in the game tomorrow. He's injured. And back then, Sergio Busquets and Tata mentioned today a little bit a similar theme, that it was good for the team to have Leagues Cup last summer because everything was spiraling downward with their MLS season, and it gave them like restart, a little, here's a new tournament with new opponents. It got them to sort of forget, or at least distance themselves from the record in MLS. So it was a good thing. They got to regroup. They had Messi, they added Alba, they added Busquets. All of those things happened. Tata was just starting. It gave them a chance to gel as a team and become what they are now. This year, it's completely different. Now it's almost like an interruption in the first place team. Like maybe they would have been better, just keep going. But it does give Messi a chance to rest and get better in time for the final stretch. They have 9 games left of the MLS season, starting up again at the end of August. 9 games left. They've already got, with 53 points over the last 3 seasons, that would have been enough already to make the playoffs. So they have pretty much, we can say without doing all the math that they probably have already clinched a playoff spot with 53 points, and they still have 9 games to go.
Yeah.
Very good position right now is the point.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. How many guys are we missing now for the next couple games? Because I know that for the Olympics and stuff, Kromoski and stuff like that, we're going to lose a couple guys, right?
They're missing Ben Hakromoski's with the USA team, and Diego Gomez is with the Paraguay team. So those two guys are out. Leo Messi is out, as you know. Christoph is out for this game with a knee thing, but he's supposed to return to regular training next week.
Okay.
He's out. And that's pretty much it of the regulars who have been playing.
Okay.
Obviously, Messi's a big one. Oh, Suarez is a questionable for tomorrow. He has knee inflammation. So Tata said that he is questionable. He was out there, though, in training today. I saw him in the morning. He was training with the group, but Tata said he is questionable for the game tomorrow. You know, I am getting the distinct impression from reading between the lines, Tata's different answers, and just everything, that, as we just said, Leagues Cup right now is not as important. They would never say, we don't care about Leagues Cup. Of course,
right.
They have a game tomorrow. They want to win it. There's a cup in front of them. They want to defend that cup. It's their cup. They want to hold it up again. I'm not saying they don't want to win, but I am getting the impression that right now winning the MLS Cup is paramount.
Yes.
And he is not going to take any risks during Leagues Cup with a player. If there's a player who has some knock, some inflammation, some whatever, I don't think those players are going to be playing 90 minutes during Leagues Cup. I think he's going to go with whatever lineup he can put together, which has been good enough to win games. And they'll see how they do. Like you said, it would be a bonus, but I don't think they're going to throw everything and sacrifice everybody to win a Leagues Cup, which is basically a tournament that was invented by MLS and Liga MX, to make money and to raise awareness for their leagues. But it's not like some cup that has a long history and tradition, and it's not like Copa America. It's not like the World Cup, even US Open Cup. There's that big debate. In fact, there's some supporter groups, FYI, a little aside, there are some supporter groups around the MLS that are boycotting Leagues Cup because they are supporters of the US Open Cup, and they felt that MLS teams should still be playing in US Open Cup the way they always did. And this year, since Leagues Cup came along, MLS this year said, well, to free up because the calendar was too crowded.
Too much, yeah.
MLS teams have the option to play their second division team. And most teams are playing their second division team in the US Open Cup. So there are some fans, traditionalists, who are upset with MLS about this, and they are actually boycotting the Leagues Cup games.
Well, it's a money thing. You're going to get the interest from Mexico, and so you're going to get to So it's you got to understand they're trying to survive, and they're trying to make money if they can. And U.S. Open Cup games are for you and me. And we're the minority.
They weren't making money. They were not marketed. That's the thing. And that's what Don Garber had said last year was
hardcore.
That tournament does have great tradition, but it didn't have like a big TV contract. It didn't have good marketing. It didn't have, a lot of people didn't even know that it was going on. So it could be a great tournament on the field and fun. It's like the NCAA tournament, the all-comers. It's like the FA Cup for the United States. But if no one is seeing it and it's not on TV and there's no marketing, it doesn't really help the league that much. So this tournament, they're going to have the game against Tigres next Saturday, InterMiami versus Tigres, one of the top Mexican teams in Houston. So, in Houston against a Mexican team with InterMiami, with or without Messi, I still think they're going to get a really good crowd for that.
Packed house, of course, man. It makes sense. I get what they're doing, man. I mean, you and I work in this. We understand that there's a business to this too, unfortunately, and it just can't be, about tradition. Sometimes tradition doesn't make you money, and if it doesn't make you money, unfortunately, it's a loser. And this is a sport that can't afford to be doing those kind of things. So it's got to make money. So I totally understand it. And again, the good thing about the Leagues Cup now coming up, which it might be an extension of what's gone on minus Messi minus Suarez and by the way, Rojas too was missing during that time. But you were able to develop the other guys and develop the rest of your roster. So when you do end up getting to the MLS Cup, your team's going to be nice and tested from top to bottom. So in this Leagues Cup, you will give an opportunity to some players also to continue to get some experience.
Yeah, the depth has been unbelievable. I just did a little profile on Yannick Bright. If you guys haven't had a chance to read it, Yannick Bright is a bright spot. I'll say a stupid pun. Yannick Bright, if you haven't watched him play or if you haven't paid attention to this young man, this is a rookie out of the University of New Hampshire. He came from the MLS draft, was the number 15 pick. The guy is really good. He's from Italy. He's from Milan. He grew up in Milan. And I just did a profile on him because he and his brother were huge AC Milan fans. They tried out for the youth academy for the Primavera of AC Milan. His brother made it and he was cut. He did not. And he said that he was the scholar. He's considered the scholar in the family. His brother was considered the footballer in the family. So his brother made it. His younger brother, he did not. He was really crushed, really depressed. He was ready to give up soccer altogether. His father, who was a truck driver, said, listen, you are a scholar. You love academics. I want you to have a better life. Why don't you go to the United States? Go to college there and play soccer. You'll get to still play it. Plus you'll get an education. So it's a long story about how, but he ended up at the University of New Hampshire. Okay. Turns out to be like academic all everything. He won academic all league 3 years in a row, was a 3-time All-American, and turned out to be a fantastic college player and a true scholar athlete, graduated cum laude with a finance degree, okay, in December, graduated early with a finance degree, cum laude, and InterMiami drafted him number 15. And he's now in the starting lineup of this team. And he's a really good tackler. He steals the ball. Actually, he leads MLS right now, leads the whole league in interceptions per 90 minutes. So he's a really good interceptor of the ball. He does not foul. He steals the ball without committing fouls. And Tata loves this kid.
He doesn't come from the Avila school of defense.
No. Oh, no. Right. Or the David Ruiz school of defense.
Yes.
David Ruiz plays 5 minutes and gets 2 yellows, But, he's from Miami. He's from Little Havana. He's a tough guy. This guy's from Milan. He's a little more stylish. Okay.
Yeah. What were the 2 Argentine guys we had the first 2 years that would pick up yellow?
Oh, LGP.
Yes.
LGP. I do have to tell you one funny thing about LGP is that David Martinez, this guy that they just signed from River Plate, the reason that he's available and that he wasn't getting too many minutes because he was displaced in their starting lineup at River Plate by LGP. LGP, Leandro Gonzalez Pires, went to River Plate on loan from InterMiami, and I thought for sure he was going to come back because he played for Tata in Atlanta when they won the 2018 MLS Cup. LGP was on that team and was a big factor of that team, and he knows Tata very well. So I assumed when Tata took over that LGP was going to come right back. But River Plate made a really good offer, and they kept him. And now InterMiami is getting David Martinez because he wasn't getting minutes ahead of LGP.
That's interesting.
Little side story there. Yeah.
That is interesting. How the world works. It's
the other one was Nico Figal. It was Nico Figal and LGP.
Nico Figal, yeah. Those guys used to pick up cards like they were collecting it or something. I don't know. It was just one of those things. And by the way, again, Drake Callender just continues.
Oh, yes. Huge. It's like no one even talks. I still try to bring it up with Tata every game. Like, can you talk about Drake? He's like, oh, well, this is normal for him. This is normal for him. Well, yeah, it is normal for him, but we should, he still deserves praise that it's so matter of fact that he basically makes 2 game winning saves every single game. He gets them out of trouble. So he's having a fantastic season too. No question.
Yeah, no, it's been so awesome. Just everything to watch, the young guys, the winning without Messi, the goalie, Tata, showing me a lot. The other thing is we have to mention Chris Henderson, because you just mentioned you just mentioned Bright. And this is why Henderson, was acquired.
And Tata did give when I asked about Bright in the press conference, he said the first credit for Yannick Bright and Leo Afonso, who's, by the way, another college kid. He's local, by the way. He grew up in Boca Raton. He's grew up in Boca, went to Olympic Heights High School, but he went to play at UVA. He went to play at University of Virginia, and Chris also brought him in. And in this draft, also, he's also a rookie this season, was picked below Bright. And by the way, he's come in and scored and been a scoring threat whenever he comes in. And he had a game winner in one of the games. So these are two players who are college guys that Chris Henderson found along with the other scouts on his scouting team. And they suggested that this is who they should bring in. And both of those guys right out of college have done an excellent job. And I don't want to make comparisons, but I will. Robbie Robinson was not Chris Henderson's pick in season 1.
Oh, no,
was a different.
Yeah, no, that was the prior GM. The first couple of years, the prior GM. Yeah, unfortunately, but that's why I feel so good. This has been my favorite stretch of Inter Miami so far, because now I know the front office is doing their job. Tata can win without Messi, and life without Messi will come one day, very soon. It's right around the corner.
Yes.
So I need to know: are you guys just Messi, or are you, And then you watch, like you just brought in the Martinez kid. That's another sign of your front office, your ownership, that they're not going to stop. They're going to keep trying to stay on top of things and keep trying to improve and do whatever they have to do. So for me, that's been the most enlightening part about this stretch. This makes me feel even better about the Inter Miami future.
Yeah. Oh, no, absolutely. They right now, like you said, they're building. They've got a real core of young players who are very talented, and young South Americans who are getting offers from overseas and choosing to come here. Now, part of the reason they're choosing to come here,
selling a guy already, but since they just turned over this.
Oh, they're about to sell. They're going to sell Diego Gomez. They're going to sell Diego Gomez to the EPL. Yes,
which I know, like the fan that's maybe doesn't follow it might be, oh, well, why are we going to lose him? But for those of us that are hardcore, we're like, okay, now we know these people are big time now. Now they're developing, they're finding, and now they're taking advantage of the business of soccer, that now they can turn this over and use that money to improve the club, because this isn't Jeffrey Loria that owns the damn team. They're not grabbing the money so then they can just say, oh, let's pocket it. No, they're going to use the money so they can continue to improve the team. And that's how you do this kind of stuff.
Yeah, they're definitely. Diego Gomez is a young talent. He's on the Olympic team, and he's going to go to Brighton. As soon as the Olympics are over, probably they'd like to keep him to the end of this season, to December. I don't know. They haven't said exactly when he's going to leave. It's a matter of when, not if. But for Inter Miami to develop a young player, for him to make the leap overseas to the EPL, that bodes well for the future, for sure.
Huge. All right, what do you got going on in the Herald so folks can check you out, my friend?
Oh my God, it's just all soccer right now. It's all Inter Miami. Leagues Cup is right now for the next month. And then UM basketball is going to start up soon. I've been going to some of their practices. That's a whole brand new team. It's crazy. They were in the Final Four. The Miami Hurricanes were in the Final Four in 2023. Last year. We are in 2024 now. 1 year ago, in March, they were in the Final Four of 2023. There is only one player remaining from that team. That's it, Nigel Pack. Nobody else. Every other player is gone with NIL, and it's a brand new world. So there are 11 out of the 12 players are completely new transfers from other places. Everyone's just, I think there were 2,000 in Division I men's basketball, 2,000 players transferred. It was an average of 5 per team. So, every team around the country is different. And so when you read the preseason predictions and all that, I would just throw all that out the window because no one really knows what any of these teams look like because it's all brand new teams. And Miami is going to have like 11 new players. So I'll be writing about that, in about a month or so. Right now, I'm really focused on soccer and when is Messi coming back, when is Suarez coming back, and how, what's going to happen coming forward.
Michelle, you are probably the most prominent reporter here in South Florida, maybe history, by the way. I can go as far as that because I've been around watching and witnessing what you've done when not just covering sports, but covering women's sports. And whether it's the Canes ladies basketball or we're talking about the Soul, because obviously I was one of the few guys that were there.
Yes, I remember.
Or Magic Jack, or whatever's gone on, or the Olympics, or tennis. You've been all over when it comes to women's sports. So there's a question a little bit off the beaten path. Has anybody ever taken women's sports by storm like Caitlin Clark? Like, I've never seen anything like it. It would have to be
no, I mean,
like FloJo.
It would have to be Serena
or something, right? Yes,
Serena. Yeah.
Serena
is one of the few women, like, for the longest time, the only women who made the cover of Sports Illustrated, and I'm not even just saying this like facetiously, this is actually like factually true because there were studies. The only women who ever made the cover of Sports Illustrated was for the swimsuit issue. It was swimsuit models.
Okay.
So, female athletes did not make the cover of Sports Illustrated when I was growing up, or even when I started in the business. There may have been a story deep inside about a female athlete, but they never made the cover. Serena did make the cover of Sports Illustrated. So I think, Serena is a female athlete that was, a generational talent who really just, went above and beyond, brought people into the sport that normally didn't follow tennis, grew the sport tremendously, and just did things that nobody else had ever done.
Sure. But that's more mainstream. That's a mainstream sport because of all the prior tennis stars too that have kind of
because there already were a lot of fans, right? Women's basketball was a niche sport. Women's basketball was very much a niche sport that the niche fans were super into it, but the rest of the world didn't care at all about women's basketball. And now everybody knows who Caitlin Clark is. And the thing is, I think it's not only Caitlin Clark herself, the way she plays and what she did and all the records and all those things she's doing. It is also, it's become a racial story, okay, with her and Angel Reese and the rest of the league. It's very similar to the Larry Bird story. Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Isaiah Thomas, the white star who comes in and all of a sudden everyone's paying attention. And then a lot of the Black women who are amazing athletes who have been, playing out of their minds in WNBA forever, but no one paid attention. Some of those women rightfully are like, wait a minute. We've had really good basketball players before. You just weren't paying attention to us. Right. Now that you have a white girl, you're paying attention to her. So there is some of that. I do think there's an undercurrent of what makes it a story that transcends the basketball aspect, that makes it also a cultural phenomenon, is that she's, a white player from Iowa, who doesn't look like a lot of the other players in the league. And some of them rightfully feel that they've been overlooked for a long time, which is true. There have been amazing female basketball players who nobody paid attention for all these years. And now all of a sudden it's like, oh, you discovered America because Caitlin Clark showed up. So there is some of that. And she's had to deal with some ugly stuff, and she's handled it really, really well. There have been a lot of haters out there, and for a young woman, rookie, to be able to handle it the way she has, I think is really, really impressive. And
but that happens in a lot of sports. Tiger brought eyes that weren't give a shit about golf, just like Serena brought eyes to tennis. Give a shit about tennis. So this happens at times. And what you should do is actually, that's where I'm disappointed in the WNBA. I think they have mishandled over and over this situation. The players at times, you don't kill. That's like Messi coming over, and people haven't given a shit that much about the MLS, but now that Messi comes over,
and then people resenting. If the other players would try to keep the ball away from him because they resent that he's taking their star away, he's taking their spotlight away from them.
Right.
No, you're bringing a spotlight to the sport. And that's the thing that the MLS players and his teammates have said repeatedly. Look, we know that those stadiums are not being Robert Taylor knows that they're not getting 67,000 to see him. He's from Finland. He's, he knows that the reason people are buying those tickets is to see Messi, but he doesn't resent it. In fact, he embraces it, and not only him, but everyone else that I've talked to on this team, which is that he is bringing attention not only to the league, to every player in this league now has more eyeballs all across the world through Apple. So someone like Robert Taylor, for example, he just signed today a 2-year contract extension, okay? Mm-hmm. Robert Taylor today signed a 2-year contract extension. He became much more valuable because he's Messi's teammate, and everybody is seeing what he does. The other scouts around the world were seeing what he does. And when you have someone like Caitlin Clark, like Serena, like Tiger Woods, like Messi, these generational athletes who bring a spotlight to a sport, to an entire sport, everybody benefits, including me, the sports writer. My stories are getting more page views because Messi is here. I admit it. I'm writing the same as I always wrote. Just like Lionel Messi writes, Robert Taylor plays the same as he always played. The women in the WNBA are playing the same as they always played. People are paying more attention to my stories now because I'm writing about Lionel Messi is on this team now, whereas he was not on the team before. So it's a win-win. Everybody should be thrilled that Caitlin Clark exists, that she came along, that she's in the league. She has, she's filling arenas. She's selling merchandise.
She's filling NBA arenas. She is doing what no one has ever done before.
She's the Messi. She is the Messi of WNBA. She is the Messi of WNBA. The ticket prices go up when she plays. The attendance goes up when she plays, and the opponents play harder when she plays because everyone has a little maybe chip on shoulders going on. But to be mean to her and to it's
dirty shots.
It's so counterproductive. It's so counterproductive. It's really bad. It would
be
like
way,
you said.
I was wrong. Because at first, when they didn't put her in the Olympic team, I go, oh, I get it, whatever. But then when I started looking into it, and Diana Taurasi's 41 and she's playing, it's like she has nothing left to prove. She's a goddess already in that sport.
Right.
Oh,
right.
Your sport needs the shot in the arm. Put Caitlin Clark and Reese on your damn Olympic team so you could get more eyes in your sport all over the world and everything else. That again, WNBA dropped the ball on that one too. I would have put them. It's not like the final 2 spots are that important, or it's going to take away. In fact, they showed their wares in the All-Star game. Okay,
yeah,
I know it's the All-Star game, but I know that the ladies on the other side wanted to beat Caitlin Clark in the All-Star game. Okay, and they ended up winning. So give me a break. So. Caitlin's going to be even better next year. I can't wait to see her next year after she hits the gym and does everything she does like rookie does normally, and she knows the whole league and all that. Man, that woman is only going to get better and better and better.
It's a great story. It's a really, really great story to follow. Absolutely.
All right.
Yep.
Follow her on Twitter at Koff Sports and catch her exceptional work there at the Miami Herald. Michelle, as always, great conversation. Appreciate you. Thank you.
All right. Great to talk to you. Thanks. Have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend. Thank you, Michelle. There you go. Michelle Kaufman from the Miami Herald. All right. Good stuff. Let's get to our 3A graphics. Sports calendar. Come on. Yes, sir. All right. First of all, we gotta start with Tua Tagovailoa. Why? Because Tua Tagovailoa has signed a 4-year contract extension worth $212 million. He gets $167 million.1 guaranteed in a 4-year deal. So good stuff there. Tua did fully practice today, threw some darts. He was awesome today. Tomorrow, Saturday night, 8 o'clock, Chase Stadium, InterMiami will host Puebla in the first round of the League's Cup. Also, tonight, Olympic opening ceremonies. In fact, going on now. It's like, yeah. Oh, in the rain? Okay. Are they swimming in the Seine? They're boating in the Seine, huh? I want to see the damn governor or whatever president go throw themselves in that damn river. Anyway, you can watch the ceremonies tonight if you want. That is your 3A Graphic Sports calendar. Call my friend Alan Blanco, 786-618-1443. Custom printing and embroidery, as always. There we go. What else do we have? David Sorensen says, I've been a fan since 66, and I can tell you right now, the best thing the Dolphins could have done was sign Tua. This should be a great year. Go Miami. Damn right. We just need health, bro. We just need health. Let's see. Oh, if Tua's smart, he should ask for half the money in Bitcoin. Or just whatever bonus he gets now, buy a bunch of Bitcoin, man. By the way, I think we hit 68,000. It's moving a little bit here. It's moving. Nope, 67,837. It's kind of knocking on that door for 68. But it's been going up steadily going up. I do love that Jasmine's up 14%. That I'm a fan of. I can get behind that. That's for sure. Alexis Palenzuela, thank you for the love on Venmo. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. Very nice of you, sir. I appreciate that. Very, very kind. And remember, you can make a Bitcoin donation also, or Venmo on Cash App or Venmo. And he says, have a great weekend, Big O and Sean. And by the way, again, thanks to Ray Grullon.
Yes.
Ray, thank you, bro, for the Mandalorian.
Thank you, sir.
And the Beatles sweaters for me and the wife. That's so freaking cool, dude. Very nice of you. Very nice of you. Thank you. Thank you for the love. I appreciate it. Yes, sir.
No, you're talking about a Greer deal. He ranks number 3 on AAV at 53.1. He's 8th on total guaranteed at 167. But in the 4-year deals, he did set the market because Goff was at 113. Now he's at 167. So that set a market. So everybody feels, I guess, they accomplished something in this.
Whatever, bro. Whatever. They signed him to a reasonable contract, and that's all that I care about. And once again, the Dolphin front office does it the right way.
And the other thing that was out is with this deal, again, the Dolphins would have an out, but at the same time, Tua could sign another bigger deal before he turns 30.
Of course.
So it works both ways for both parties.
And I hope that's what happens. Because then that means
it's going well.
I mean, it's going really well, dude. I don't want to change. I don't want to look for another quarterback. You know,
it really turned into a win-win. I mean, it's fair, a fair deal. It's a, quote unquote, he resets a market with the 4-year deals. He's number 3 in highest paid quarterbacks AAV. He's 8th in total guaranteed. I mean, it's an all-around win.
Yep, I'm with you. For True Fin fan, you're asking when Messi's coming back? Brother, I think it's towards the end of this month, if anything, or September, when MLS play starts again. I don't think, unless he's close to like really fresh, I don't even think they'll risk it in this tournament. They don't have an MLS game for a month. So this doesn't matter to him. You know what I mean? There's no reason to risk it. So I would count on him playing the MLS games and not play any of the League Cup games. And if they get eliminated, great. Everybody gets the rest. I don't really give a shit about winning the League's Cup, man. I give a shit about winning the MLS Cup. That's what I want. Michelle Kaufman is an encyclopedia when it comes to sports. Tons of experience. Congrats. Yes, she is fantastic. Good morning from Australia. Fins up. LFG. She knows her stuff. You know it. I can listen to Michelle Kaufman and not get tired. Just wealth of information. Good stuff. Channing Crowder only knows Venus. Oh, that's the promo. Yeah, that because they had Venus on. No, they had Serena on, and he called her Venus. Yeah. They've used that one forever. Yeah, that's funny. Finally, now all the haters can quiet and enjoy. No, now they can hate the contract, Lenny. Yeah, no, Lenny, no. They're not going to stop hating. They're just going to hate the contract now. If they would have signed Tua to a 10-cent deal, they would have hated it also. Are you kidding me? They're giving him 10 cents a year? The hell is that?
Chris Greer needs to be fired.
Yeah, that's just over half a cent a game. Joyous day in Dolphin Nation. Damn right, Cosa Nostra. Eddie Lepp is celebrating the Tua signing. For those who say he can't win big games, you do know only 5 QBs won a Super Bowl before the age of 26. This team hasn't had anything to win even a playoff game, dude. They've been so injury-riddled the last 2 years. They were mincemeat. So, Big O, now I know what you mean. I couldn't stand watching NFL Live on ESPN talking about how they overpaid Tua. Those mofos don't know what the F they're talking about. Yeah, to me, ESPN is pure garbage, bro. There's almost really, outside of the breaking news to get some of the guys, that's about it. It's just crap shows, dude. Just crap shows that here's an interesting, let me, not a crap show, but here's a story that has developed. You saw that TNT matched the offer from Amazon, right? But now NBA is going to still go with Amazon, and they're not going to go back to TNT, and TNT may take them to court and all that kind of stuff. And so this is I think it's a 10-year contract, right? Or 20? 10, right? Okay, so think about this now. You got to think about what the product is. Okay, for me, that show's kind of jumped the shark already. But, okay, for those of you that like it, okay, can you see Charles Barkley and Shaq still arguing 5-10 years from now? I think it's going to kind of run its course. The guy's already been talking about retiring as it is. So if you're the NBA, why would you want to go back to TNT? You had your run. It was great. Time to turn the page, bro. It's not going to ever be like it was. It's only going to decline from here. And it's, by me personally, for me, that show has declined. It's gotten kind of predictable and old and that kind of stuff. So I don't really get the enjoyment that I used to get out of the shtick that they used to perform all the time. So 10-year contract. Do you really want to commit to that show for 10 more years? No. So you're better at Amazon, where you probably will have input and you'll be able to turn things over. And that's kind of, the game. Got to know what the product is. Let's see what else. That's why the ESPN stuff, that stuff isn't worth watching. Oh, how special is it that this news breaks while live? This is a damn special time. It is, isn't it? It's pretty cool to have it break live. Yep. Big O, I'm not good at this stuff. So when does the Tua contract? Next year. Okay. It's a 4-year extension. You don't include the 5th this year. Okay. That's not how it goes. This year is the last year of his contract. Next year, we'll start the new deal and the 4-year contract. Okay. That's how it is. The people that want to lump in the existing contract with the new contract, that's not how it goes. Okay. Because the last year of the contract was negotiated 4 years ago. So it can't be part of the new contract because things change 4 or 5 years later. You're either a good player, a bad player, or a great player, and the salary's either going to go down, stay the same, or go more. And obviously, it's gone a lot more. So different type of thing, including the 5th year, makes 0 sense, and it doesn't really give you the real big picture. The big picture is the extension. That's what you're paying him over the next 4 years, if he stays on the team for the 4 years, which I know he will, but, usually the guarantees go through 3 years, and that's why it's 167 for 3. So you end up paying him like 55.6 for 3 years. 55.66. 55.666, the number of the beast. Hell and fire was sworn to be released. Let's see what else. Do you think that Tua is going to take Sean out for a steak now? Well, he should. Tua, you got your cash. Let's go.
Tua like throwing the shindigs at his house, apparently. He has all the players over right before camp. So, yeah. I'm waiting, Tua. I'm sure the invite's in the mail.
That's funny. Oh, man. So J-Lo is celebrating a birthday today, huh? It's amazing. All right, let's get to some music history and birthdays and kind of stuff like that before we continue. Let's see. Let's start off with some birthdays. Where am I? Here we go. All right. Today, July 26. Taylor Momsen, American singer for The Pretty Reckless, born on this date in 1993. Also celebrating birthdays today, Gary Sharon, singer with Extreme, born on this date in 1961. Andy Connell with Swing Out Sister, Breakout. Back in 1961, Andy Connell was born. Roger Taylor was born on this date in 1949, the drummer and vocalist for Queen. Mick Jagger was born on this date in 1943, singer for the Rolling Stones. Let's see who else celebrating birthdays today. Darlene Love, singer from the Phil Spector produced group The Blossoms. And that's musicians celebrating birthdays today. Let's go with regular famous people celebrating birthdays. Matt LeBlanc. He is 57 years old, the Friends actor. I see a wrestler there. You'll probably talk about him in a minute. Hulk, the soccer player, is 38. James Lafferty, TV actor, is 39. Bryce, wait a minute. Is this the same one? No, this is old. I have the wrong one, dude. The wrong one. No wonder I was going, didn't I say that birthday already? Oh, there's none, huh? Okay. Well, no, it's not that I know it says wrestler on it. That's why. It says what they're, like Sandra Bullock, 60, movie actress. Even though I know she's an actress, I don't need it. But yeah, Jason Statham is 57 today. Some rapper named Stormies is 31. I have no idea who he is, if he even matters. Mick Jagger is 81 today. I already mentioned that. That's right. Kate Beckinsale is 51. Joe Jackson was born on this date in 1928. We lost him in 2018. Also celebrating birthdays today. Kevin Spacey is 65. Helen Mirren is 79. A young Helen Mirren was a smoke show, dude. Let's see who else. Stanley Kubrick, the director, was born in 28 on this date, died in 99. Who else celebrating. That is it. Sean, any wrestlers born
Yes,
on this
we
date?
actually have quite a large list here. Pitbull number 2 was born in 57. He passed away in 2003. Roderick Strong turns 41. Jenny Cash turns 41. Tommy Rich turns 68. Tessa Blanchard turns 29. Marty Skrull turns 36. Those are your birthdays for July 26th.
All right. Thank you, sir. All right, let's go with music history. In 1979, on this date, 2 years after it was originally released, the Clash's self-titled album received an American release. In 75, the Eagles started a 5-week run at #1 on the album charts with their 4th record, One of These Nights. One of these crazy old nights. In 1980, the Rolling Stones began a 7-week run at the top of the album charts with Emotional Rescue. Hoo, 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 hoo. In 1986, Peter Gabriel had the #1 song in the country with Sledgehammer. In 92, Kiss guitarist Paul Stanley married actress model Pamela Bowen in L.A. She filed for divorce 9 years later. Guess she didn't want to stay with her 2000 man. In 2000, Oasis was booed off the stage during a show at the festival in Switzerland after singer Liam Gallagher insulted the 35,000 person audience. In 2003, Limp Bizkit abandoned their set during the Chicago stop of their summer sanatorium tour after the crowd hurled plastic bottles at singer Fred Durst. And that is what happened today in music history. Did you bring up the Haktua thing? Okay. All right. Happy birthday to Carl Jung. Carl Jung, where have I heard that name? Damn it. Rosendo. Got me. Carl Jung, a Swiss psychiatrist, psychotherapist, psychologist who founded the School of Analytics Psychology. He was a profile author, illustrator, and correspondent, and complex and controversial character, perhaps best known through his autobiography, Memories, Dreams, Reflections. He was born in this state in 1875, died in 1961 at the age of 85. Thank you, Rosendo. Still don't know who he is. So, what do you got there?
No, I was looking at Adam the Who. This is my daughter Ava is 13 today. Looks like I owe her a Tua jersey. So, happy birthday, Ava.
All right. As long as you don't get her a Hawk Tua jersey. Did you see this Hawk Tua event? So it looks like, the whole thing. You could have your moment in time, right? But if it's going to last, you're going to have to do it again and again and again. You could have a 100-yard rushing game. And then they're going to say, oh, let's sign him up. And then they're going to think that you're a good back, and now you got to follow it up with another good game and another good game and another good. Maybe not all hundreds, but you got to be a good player. And the Hawk Tua girl had an incredibly funny moment that went super viral. Here's the question I have for you. What other moment has gone viral since, with all of her appearance since then? None. You know why? She just was a flash in the pan. In one moment, she said something funny, witty. It was something that got us all laughing, okay, whether you have a sense of humor or not. But then watch her. She's on stage now at a country music concert, okay? And she's there trying to rile up the crowd after a performance. And check out the video.
All right, let's hear it for
Yeah, let's hear for Haley. Let's hear for Haley. What does she do? You know? And so you had your moment and you blew your load. You know? That's the thing. You can have a radio show and you can come up with them. You know, one day you came up with 20, 30 minutes, 2 hours, and you had people thinking, you had them laughing, you had them. Okay, now you got to do it tomorrow, and you got to do it the next day, and you got to do it the next day after that, and the next day after that. And can you keep them thinking? Can you keep them laughing? Can you keep them informed? Can you keep them entertained? Can you do it over and over and over again? And it doesn't matter what it is, dude. You wash cars. That's what you do for a living. All right? Well, you're going to get more business because what? Because you kick ass washing cars. But if you only did it for a month and then the rest of the months after that, you just left spots and weren't washing, you're not very good at it. You can't keep doing it. You go to restaurants. Why are restaurants exceptional? Because the service and the food consistently are exceptional. But what happens to a lot of restaurants? They die. Why? Because they can't be consistent and exceptional. And so the Haktua girl had her moment, you know, and it was funny and it was great. And she's made a lot of money with it now. And she had a chance to build on it. And she couldn't build on it. If I'm correct, Jimmy Kimmel and another guy that became an actor and has had several roles, by the way. I think like even on Law and Order years ago. Jimmy Kimmel and him were just doing some like McDonald's commercials or some crap on the side. Jimmy Kimmel had his 15 minutes of fame and then he turned it into a career. And his partner, also the bald guy, kind of a little bit of a like a button nose almost. I don't know if you guys know who I'm talking about. Those two were like goofballs on the side, like doing nothing. They were doing jokes or something. I forgot what it was. I forgot what their shtick was back in those days. And both of them went on to have careers on their own. You know what I'm saying? They got their 15 minutes of fame and then they exploded from there. And so the Haktua girl has been given her 15 minutes of fame and she's done absolutely nothing except, of course, hopefully she got rich. Hopefully she sold a lot of Haktua stuff and, you know, people and, you know, she got something out of making us laugh and entertaining us. But you could tell that that crowd did not respond because there's no talent there. There's no gift. So you saw the Haktua line and then, okay, what else do you have, young lady? What else do you have? I got nothing. I got nothing. So I saw also where J-Lo is celebrating 55 years today. She's celebrating a birthday today. And so J-Lo says a source with Entertainment Tonight says Lopez is doing her best to stay positive and focused on the great things in her life. She marked her 55th birthday on Wednesday. The positive mindset comes and ongoing speculation that she and Ben Affleck are having trouble in their marriage and are potentially heading towards a divorce, yada, yada, yada. It's been a hard year with some unexpected realizations, changes, and obstacles, but Jen is trying to view her 55th birthday as a fresh start, the source says. She's trying not to let her situation with Ben bring her down. It is amazing to me that you can look this good and be this lonely. And that's because maybe you need to change, sweetheart. Some guy put a picture of J-Lo from behind at this age. And she looks, you know, She's got an ass of a 24-year-old. And you're like, you look dynamite. You look amazing. What is wrong inside, bro? They can be as fine as hell and they can be just as lonely, brother, because eventually anybody and everybody will be tired of being with you no matter how fine you are. You're that fine and you're that lonely. That's some sad shit, dude. That is some sad shit. The Cash Me Outside girl, the Beta Batty, Baba Batty, whatever. Yeah, she's made a bunch of money and she has zero talent because her rapping and her music absolutely suck. But there are idiots buying it. And she also does her OnlyFans, right? I think it's also the other thing that she does. Yeah, I know about the Cash Me Outside girl. Yep. Let's see. Big O, are you going to see the Deadpool? That's funny. My daughter wants to go see the new Deadpool. The Hawk Tuah girl was basically Bart Simpson when he had 15 minutes of fame with his "I didn't do it" catchphrase. Yep. Ron Jeremy had 15 minutes of fame, and then he exploded too. She still can't sing nor act, and she can't do anything. You know what? I don't mind her. I don't mind her movies that much, actually. Her singing does nothing for me. She can dance. She does look hot. Man, she's hot. Holy moly, that is one hot woman. By the way, they got hot deals out here. All right, at Craig Zinn's, Acura of Pembroke Pines. And by the way, they are running out of Integras and MDXs 2024s. You can get them right now, $319 a month for the 2024, $479 for the MDX, and $499 for the ZDX. You can get electrified. I am looking at a red one right now. It's like a candy apple red. I want to get electrified. I can't wait till next year. I can't wait. Oh, I got to get mine next year. But anyway, so for those of you out there, and we're at the end of the month, which they are the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. And how do they do that? That's because they make a lot of deals happen. So come on out here, end of the month. They want to move out the last of the MDXs and the Integras 2024s. The 2025s are right around the corner. So come on out, and you've got to check out the ZDX. Okay, get electrified. That thing hauls ass, bro. It's like 380 horsepower or 360 or something, the two-wheel, and the all-wheel drive is like 500 horsepower or something ridiculous. It is amazing, and it looks so good, man. You got to check out the ZDX. So come on out here, 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 and Pines. Finest dealership in the business, baby. Nobody's better when it comes to Acuras than Craig Zinn's, Acura of Pembroke Pines. Pat in Nashville says, TMZ wrote that the Hawk Tuah girl is being courted by producers for a show, and since TMZ is the pillar of truth and virtue, I'm sure she's being courted for a show and reality shows or something like that, for sure. But so far, from what I've seen on many of her appearances, I've seen nothing. So I hope she has more than, Hawk Tuah, and that's it. I remember Omar told the story of when he was in the locker room and players were giving David Justice shit for divorcing someone as fine as Halle Berry. Justice said, crazy cancels out fine all day. J-Lo, yeah. And it took Halle a little while, too, to settle down after a couple guys. But she's been settled down for a while. She doesn't have J-Lo's problems. J-Lo's problems are a lot deeper. Paris must be on high alert. Well, dude, yeah. They just screwed up a train of theirs yesterday. They have all kinds of crazy ass protesting in France, dude. I mean, seriously, like, wow. The French really go overboard with protesting. A ton, dude. It's kind of wacky. All right, we thank Larry Schlossberg and the great people out here at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines, and of course the great Pat Nasto, Tony Stampone, just amazing people as always getting it done. We thank Manny Navarro. We thank Michelle Kaufman. If you missed those interviews, this man will be posting them soon, audio and video. We thank, of course, the great Sean Stanley. We will see you all on Monday morning, same time, same place, same bat channel. Yes, Monday's practice. So Monday afternoon. Have a good one.